Hey guys, are you like me when you're waiting for weather and winter weather storm warnings and forecasts, or maybe it's a standoff between these kind of guys? But guys, are you keeping track? The big winter storm KENAN's still on its way, and they're going to be talking about bombogenesis, and that's why I'm calling this BOMBOGENESIS Snow Storm 2022. This is all you're going to hear about because this thing is deepening, and what bombogenesis means is 24 millibars of pressure dropping within a 24-hour period of time. And as this thing deepens, you're going to start seeing all the news, including all the weather stations are going to be talking about it. And a lot of you guys know Reed Timmer, the famous tornado chaser. Well, guess what? He's going to be on the East Coast too, and this is his latest from his latest video. This is where he's going to be circled in green, but that's probably also where the low pressure will be moving as this thing deepens and continues to move inland. I want you to see here how deep this thing drops over 36 hours. It goes from the top of that list on the right all the way to the bottom, dropping 50 to 60 millibars. But here's what's coming up, and here's what's going on about 10, 11 p.m. tonight into tomorrow around noon. And as this cold front goes down, a lot of cold air is coming down, and this thing is going to tighten up and deepen up, and this model is way off, and it needs to be a lot closer to the coast. That's going to be a 995 storm, but as you can see here down in Florida, guys, the cold air Sunday. The memes are already coming out. People are going to need a bigger winter coat because it's going to get really cold. Look at there. Orlando, 31. Ocala, 24. Melbourne, 34. They're going to have a hard freeze. The frost all the way down along the coast. Freeze all the way inland. A very hard freeze north of Orlando. But guys, first let's start off in the Carolinas. They're going to get some thunder snow tonight. And you know, down south they say if you hear thunder in the snow, 10 days later you're going to get another snow. Well, guess what? You're going to see it in the extended forecast. But here's what's going on. As this thing deepens, there's so much cold air in place from the cold front that's just going through and continuing south to bring in the cold air into Florida this weekend. And it's going to be reminiscent of probably the February 16th, 17th, 2013 event. It'll probably be a heavy wet snow with thunder snow in certain areas, 3 to 6 inches possible, probably 3 to 4. But what's coming up, and I'm just going to show you the latest models, what they're thinking. For those of you in the Piedmont, for my friends and family down there in the Carolinas. And guys, I'm showing the Carolinas for a reason, because what's coming up is going to be really nutty professor with the snow total amounts that could be possible upcoming. But first, we've got to get to what's coming up now. Remember a couple days ago, I was talking about a nice warming trend coming. Now, the snow coming, you know, it is going to melt. That part is coming, but here's the problem. New data is showing polar vortex is going to increase over Valentine's Day and right before. Here's some of the latest models coming out for the total snowfalls from this bombogenesis storm tightening along the East Coast. Raise some of these amounts a little bit higher, and you're going to start seeing these amounts start going up, like I talked about at the beginning of the week. Here's what's going on currently as this thing deepens. And again, this model is way too far off the coast, in my opinion. They might be right, but I have a feeling they're going to bring this in further. But check it out, guys. The Middle East, the Middle East. I wish it was. Here in the Midwest, the Ohio Valley. Actually, the Middle East has been getting lots of snow as it is, but in the Ohio Valley, we're not out of the woods yet. But watch what's coming up in the Carolinas. Some big stuff is coming up. And I want you guys to see here, this is the total snow accumulation coming over the next 384 hours. So a little over 2 weeks there. Just watch as this comes down with the different systems coming through. And keep in mind, folks, this is still a couple weeks out. But look what happens to the first batch in the Carolinas, Virginia, Eastern Tennessee. Look at the second one coming through. Even Mid-Atlantic, D.C. area, you guys are still under the gun. And I want you to see the up-close runs just for the Northeast here as we get closer to the end of this video here. Here's the latest model runs of this snowstorm of the past 24 hours. This is a 24-hour snow period as each system moves through. So you're going to have some storms coming through, but did you see that down to the southeast? Here's what I believe is totally coming for this forecast. This is a model shown a couple days ago. But remember when I was talking about the Carolinas? This is going to be big news, and I'm trying to give you guys a heads up now, because what's coming with the cold front and the cold air in place, and these systems that are going to take a southerly track south of the Appalachian Ridge there Into the Piedmont, these are the 24-hour snow totals. There just went our first snowstorm. Here comes the one in the Midwest, in the Ohio Valley, but here comes the first batch for the Carolinas. It's going to get nuts. We're talking a foot, 6 to 10 inches plus. A second wave coming through D.C. Next one, oh boy, did you see that? Here's the first batch. Guys, they're talking 14, 15, 16, 13 heavy wet snow inches. Look at the 2-week total. I don't know if I buy the numbers, but I just wanted to give you an early heads up. What could be coming, guys? The weather just began. It just seems like for winter 2022. Stay tuned. It's going to get crazy.